the educational model seems to be um, it seems to be deliberate in several different ways. Now, I can understand, and I would probably get some arguments as to why school is a certain amount of hours long in a certain time period of the day, and it's the first thing that you experience throughout the day. Usually people don't go to school later in the day. That's higher education, college. They'll let you do night classes. But K through 12, you wake a child up, and you give them breakfast, and then you send them out to about 7, 8 hours roughly of school. And school is sitting in a square room. Usually there's very little art, very little to evoke imagination. There's a two-dimensional wall and one person standing in front of you telling you all this intellectual information that is going to be needed to be regurgitated perfectly, identically, for you to get a good grade onto a piece of paper the following week. So that's an overgeneralization, obviously. But in K through 12, it seems that this peak hour during the day, we're being put into a beta state. So that's one of the brainwave patterns that we're in. There's 4 of them. But the beta state, what happens is the blood flow actually reduces out of the prefrontal cortex, which is the imaginative, the creative, the holistic thinking, abstract thinking mind, and it puts us into reactive thinking. And it's the alert and also on guard type of state. And this is any type of education where you're sitting in a room and you're just listening to one person, two-dimensional backboard, nothing, no music, nothing to actually add a vibe. It's very analytical, intellectual, reactionary. It seems to be that what the educational system is very impersonal to the individuals and to the children. So children, I believe, are born with an amazing capacity for art, an amazing capacity for their imagination, and you see in them, they'll go off and they'll pretend and they'll make this whole make-believe world and they'll play inside of that world, and they will actually be able to envision it so much that they are able to interact with other characters within this imaginary realm. And we seem to squash that out, and we squash out the individuality and the imagination, and we make it very impersonal. Okay, there's one lesson we're going to learn. We're going to learn when Christopher Columbus reached the United States, what ship did he arrive on, what was the exact date, where did he land, who did he come in contact with, intellectual data, factual information. It has to be this, it can't be this, or this, or this, or this. And next week, I want you to remember that so well that when I put a piece of paper in front of you, you can regurgitate that information verbatim. To me, what that looks like is that's exactly what we're doing with computers. So we're in this computer age, and what you do is you enter in, you're writing a text document, or you're entering, something into the computer so you can recall it later on. Next week, you're like, oh, what were the notes I wrote down? Let me type in the command and hit save or hit print or whatever it might be, hit open, and it will regurgitate all that information instantly. And computers serve people, in a sense. But when you turn children into a computer-like module, then what are they serving? And it seems to be that we're thrust into an educational system, and we're brought K through 12, and then we have higher education. Oh, well, here's where your individuality. Let's say a guidance counselor will say, well, it seems that you like these things, so here are the jobs in our system that you can fit yourself into. And when you get past, your higher education, or if you don't go on to college, you just get past high school, we'll fit you into this curriculum so you can grind the gears of the machine that is already working. So you have to wonder, what kind of machine is this that wants impersonalized information, data regurgitation, being able to take a command and just follow that command, not ask questions, not really balance that information that you're learning based upon what resonates or whether you feel it's right or not. You don't want the children asking questions in this machine. You just want them to take a command and do it. That's like, obviously, you don't want a computer that would have to question your motives as to why you want to recall a document. So you don't want children having to question your motives when you say, I want you to go bomb a village in Uganda. So it seems to be that The educational system is impersonalizing and removing people from this, the individual, and homogenizing it, turning it into conformity and ultra conformity. So in the educational system, that's really what I see happening is we are being, in a sense, kind of the creativity and the individuality is being bred out of us slowly but surely, as if that is specifically what educational system is designed to do, is to create conformity and less questions.